Good morning, everyone. I'm Gitanjali Batra here to present a paper on sustainability reporting by global corporations, lesson for India. In 1306, burning of coal was banned in England when Parliament was in session. In 1987, the general concept of sustainable development originated with a report named Our Common Future by the World Commission on Environment and Development, known as Brundtland Commission, initiated by the United Nations. In 1992, the Earth Summit UN Conference on Environment and Development, 178 countries adopted a comprehensive action plan named Agenda 21, UN Conference on Environment and Development 1992, supporting sustainable development. The Global Reporting Initiatives, located in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, was formed by United States-based Coalition for Environmentally Responsible Economies and TELUS Institute with the support of the United Nations Environment Programme in 1997. It works in cooperation with the United Nations Global Compact. GRI describes itself as a multi-stakeholder governed institution collaborating to provide the global standards in sustainability reporting. It is a non-profit organization that promotes economic sustainability by providing world's most established standards for sustainability reporting. G3, also called as third generation of GRI's sustainability reporting guidelines, was launched in October 2006 at an international conference. It builds on G2, which in turn is an evaluation of the initial guidelines which were released in 2000. G3 guidelines provide detailed instructions and guidance for reporting on sustainability performance. It is applicable to smaller companies, large multinationals, public sector, NGOs, and other types of organizations from all around the world. The guidelines are created through the multi-stakeholder consensus-seeking approach that makes them universally applicable. G3 sustainability reports include three types of standard disclosures: organization profile, performance indicators, and management approach. The principles guide the reporters in defining the content of the report, quality of the report, and give guidance on how to set the report boundary. Principles include materiality, stakeholder inclusiveness, comparability, and timeliness. Organizations that report using G3 frameworks self-declare an application level of A, B, or C, matching to the degree of thoroughness. If third-party assurance is taken, the application level is A+, B+, or C+. The G3 guidelines are increasingly adopted worldwide by many global corporations and organizations. The objective of this study is to establish whether corporate characteristics like location of the industry, financial performance, corporate governance indicators, need for raising finance, etc., are related to publication of a G3 sustainability report. The publication of a G3 report is considered as a serious commitment towards corporate sustainability. The question to be analyzed is if corporations that execute sustainability reporting in the form of a G3 publication have distinct characteristics. Corporations in industries like energy, pharmaceutical, utility, and mining are more likely to provide extensive CSR information to their stakeholders. The testable hypotheses are: first, there is a significant relationship between voluntary disclosures of firms and low cost of capital to raise finance in debt and equity markets. Second, there is a positive association between a higher level of corporate governance and sustainable reporting. Third, there is a positive relationship between voluntary disclosures of firms' performance and long-term growth in sales revenue. And fourth, there is no relationship between location of the firm, that is the country in which it has its operations, and sustainability reporting. In this research paper, a random sample of 124 companies was selected from the GRI 2011 G3 report list, and 50 corporations were selected that did not prepare a G3 report. The data was taken from the annual reports of these companies, Reuters, Yahoo Finance, and proxy statements, and firm-owned data web pages. The analysis has been done using multivariate logistic regression. To perform multivariate logistic regression, the model included G3 reporting as the dependent variable and profit margin, sales growth, long-term debt, equity issue, corporate governance, sustainability committee, region, market capitalization, operating in geographic segments, employee numbers as independent variables. All the variables were incorporated at the same time and in the same model to adjust for each other. The overall goodness of fit of the model as measured by McFadden pseudo R-square was 0.334, which is greater than zero point 0.2 and hence considered to be a good fit. Based on Hosmer and Lemeshock I-square goodness of fit test, it can be stated that the model adequately fits the data. We got the value 7.439 and the p-value 0.49. Since test statistics are greater than 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis that there is no difference between the observed and the model predicted values, implying that the model's estimates fit the data at an acceptable level. The model has a high overall explanatory power with a model chi-square of 45.88 with a p-value of 0.003. The model fit can be described as good as it successfully classifies 84.2% of the cases. To detect potential multicollinearity, the tolerance and variance inflation factor for each independent variable were examined. The variance inflation factor quantifies the rigorousness of multicollinearity in an ordinary least squares regression analysis. It provides an index that measures how much of the variance of an estimated regression coefficient is increased because of multicollinearity. In logistic regression, variance inflation factor values of above 2.5 are causes of concern. The tolerance value of all studied variables were relatively high, greater than 0.739, whereas the variance inflation factor values were low, less than 1.354. This suggests that multicollinearity is very low in the suggested model. The odds ratio is a measure of effect size describing the strength of association or non-independence between the binary data values. The likelihood for a firm not legislated by CSR to publish a G3 report is around 26 times higher than for a corporation located in a CSR legislated country. Odds ratio 26.212, 95% confidence interval 1.981 to 359.480 and p-value is 0.012. Corporations located in Europe are 37 times more likely to produce a G3 report compared to those situated in a non-European country. Odds ratio 37.425. Class interval 3.514 to 509.007 and p-value 0.007. Being in the energy sector increases the odds of a G3 report by a factor of 11.458, odds ratio 11.458, class interval 1.887 to 67.895 and p-value 0.021. Corporations that are engaged in the product sector are 3.88 times likelier to produce a G3 report. Odds ratio 3.88, class interval 1.667 to 15.351, p-value 0.033. Each additional percentage in profit margin increases the odds of a G3 report by 4.3%. Each additional percentage in 5-year sales growth increases the odds of a G3 report by about 8.4%, controlling for other variables in the model. The results are shown in the table. Non-financial reporting is an emerging stage of evolution in India. India's business case for sustainability reporting is restricted by the fact that economic growth cannot be compromised, and hence the need is to integrate environmental and social concerns in the growth strategy innovatively. The awareness and response to non-financial reporting is increasing gradually with institutions like Small Industries Development Bank of India, IndusInd Bank, and Multi-Commodity Exchange, Reliance Industries, Tata Steel, Dabur India, etc., bringing out annual sustainability report. Around 80 Indian companies from various sectors produce sustainability reports, and around 60 of these publicly declared that they use GRI's sustainability reporting guidelines. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, formally released the second version of National Voluntary Guidelines for Social, Environmental and Economic Responsibilities of Business on 8 July 2011. RBI drew attention of banks to their role in corporate social responsibility, sustainable development and non-financial reporting in 2007. In order to assess the fulfillment of environmental, social, and governance responsibilities of listed entities, SEBI has made it mandatory for listed companies to submit business responsibility reports as a part of their annual reports, describing the measures taken by them along with the key principles in the National Voluntary Guidelines on Social, Environmental, and Economic Responsibilities of Business, framed by Ministry of Corporate Affairs in 2011. This requirement currently applies to top 100 companies by market capitalization and would be extended to other companies in a phased manner. BSE launched BSE GreenX in 2012 that includes the top 20 companies which are good in terms of carbon emissions, free float market capitalization, and turnover. The index is a cap-weighted free float market capitalization weighted index comprising from the list of BSE 100 index. Thank you.